What is up, YouTube? Roches here with another pre-reboot. That's right, the Preboot deck profile. Last week we did Royal Paladin. Now, as you can tell by the title and the clan card, we're doing Kagero, one of the greatest decks out there, I think. Although not as good anymore, but we're still gonna do it. I will say right now, this deck is not finished. I do have some proxies not in the main deck, but in the G zone, just because they were cards that were either very expensive or hard to find. Now, if you don't know about these videos, these preboot videos are, I give a deck profile of my deck before the reboot, and then once the trial decks come out and the first set comes out, I'm going to be updating them, and then doing deck profiles on the updated versions for premium. I might also do standard, but I don't know yet. Gonna see how these videos do. So, without further ado, let's get started. We have our beautiful starter, Lizard Attacker Conroe. I like this one just because A, it either gives us soul for the Destiny, as well as potential to get another grade 3 early on if we need it, or an extra cost for Stride or the Purge. So of course, one of him. Moving on to the grade 3s. The main ace of the deck, of course, is the Destiny. We run 4. You're going to want to run 4. Soul Blast 1. When you ride it or at the beginning of the turn, retire something on either target a circle, retire it. This beats lock, and I love that. Also, I pulled this combo off, and a lot of people hate me for it. If I have a Destiny on the field, Soul Blast 1, retire, I then ride Soul Blast the Destiny, retire something else, and then I can Stride, and then I have a Destiny in the drop zone for a few cards that can help with that, such as the G-Guard and the grade 1 that helps us cycle. Then the backup grade 3, we're going to run 4 of the Legend, which isn't, I've gone into it a few times. Not a huge fan of it, but it is a better backup than the other things we have. Not only that, it can also restand, which can be very, very useful. Moving on to the grade 2s now. We run 4 copies of the new 10K, which is Glow Heater Dragon. What can I say? It's 10K on ride. Reveal a... Is it on ride? No, when it's placed on rear, reveal a Overlord in the hand. If not, gets minus 5k until end of turn. Or if you have a Overlord Vanguard, you just need one of the 2 conditions. I love it because A, it's a 10k, and B, if I have a grade 4 Kagero Vanguard, it gets plus 2k for every time my opponent's damage zone. So not only is it going to be 10... I'll go into details about how it's going to be useful in post-reboot, but for now, it's still just, can potentially get up to 20k, which is nuts. Then we've also got 4 copies of Burner Horn Evolute. On call, Soul Blast 1, retire something, and it also gets 2k for every card in the damage zone. So potential to also be 19k. Also very good. And then we run 2 copies of Nebulum, or Nahalem, that's how I pronounce it, Nahalem. It's an 11k and can get up to 16 or 21, depending on if your Vanguard can swing multiple times. You can also get up to 26 with the new once per turn ruling, but we'll get to that as well. We're running 4 copies of the Legend Net Trigger. I like this one more than the counter charge, so you're going to see you have lots of ways to counter charge in the deck, and I really like being able to cycle. I can draw something, I can discard an Overlord, and I can also get that discarded Overlord back with other grade 1s, as you'll see. We run 3 Stride Enablers because this deck not only needs Stride, also these Stride units, as well as require Overlords, so being able to get that for the cost and save the Overlord in hand can be very useful. We run 3 copies of Lizard Yeah, Lizard General Conroe. There's so many Conroes out there. It's lets you search for the Overlord you want, as well as Psychic Countercharge 2 when your Vanguard attacks. For a multi-attacking Vanguard, that is clutch, because you get potentially 4 Countercharge, and so I don't really need the perfect guards when I have something like Conroe. I also have 3 copies of Energy G-Flame Atonic. I like this die because A, you're going to be retiring anyways, so it's... And then you put it into the soul, so you get soul for your Destiny combo, and then countercharge 2, so you potentially +1 soul, +2 countercharge for retiring one of theirs. And finally, you've also got 2 copies of Doombringer High Flame. This is what lets us put our grade 3 Overlords back into the deck. Put 1 back, deck is shuffled, put 2 back, shuffle, and draw. I like it a lot. Might bring it up to 3. It's just against, and you can also sacrifice it at the start of your turn for the cost of Stride. Problem is, against Link Joker, against Kagero Mirror Match, they're gonna hit that thing because they don't want you to have the free Stride. So in some Mirror Match, it's a little useless. Going into triggers now, we have 4 copies of Fire Chase Dragon. If something is retired in the same column as this, sacrifice it, retire that entire column. Very helpful for setting up, for being able to nuke their field. You're going to be retiring so much anyways. We run 2 just other vanilla crits. We run 2 draws. The reason I don't run 4 is that A, I don't really like draws. Like, I understand they're good, but because we have the perfect guard, we can make do with 2, as well as being able to snipe the starter if necessary. But a lot of the time, the starters can go off so fast that it's not really, unless you get it, you're going first and you can, or you're going second, and then when you ride grade 1, you can nuke their starter with it. It's not too important. And then we get into 4 stands. Reason I'm running stands in this deck is A, they're very good, especially this one, because of Blaze. It can shuffle in, unit gets 5k, and you draw. So you're potentially putting your trigger back, getting another card in hand, so you're not minusing anything, and your Vanguard gets 5k. And then, of course, we run 4 of the new Countercharge, Soul Charge, Heal. What to say about it? It helps a lot, which is great. The deck really does need it. Actually, it can survive, can do alright without it, but it is very, very useful. Moving on to the G-Zone, we run 3 copies of the Purge. Potential to get quadruple drive, especially in the new format, it's going to be ridiculous. We run 3 copies of the Ace. 1 is a proxy. I only have 2. I need to get a 3rd one. What's to say about the Ace? The new once per turn ruling will potentially get you to swing with this for 3 attacks, although you will be losing a lot of hand for it. So it's like a worse Stark, but it's there if you need it. We run 1 copy of Excel Grave Dragon. I don't really like this card, but there's situations when I have nothing else to really go into. Usually it's either the first turn, and at least I can flip something for it. 3 copies of Proxy Ziegbird, because these things are like unicorns, and you cannot find them anywhere, and if you do, they're ridiculously expensive, and I hate them, but they're so good. So I still need to pick up 3, so those are my proxies. You run 2 copies of Denial Griffin. 1 is a proxy again. They're hard to find and they're kind of expensive. I think they went down in price though, so I might be able to pick them up. We run 2 copies of Absalam. I love this card. Oh my god, this card is amazing. Because you're going to be retiring their stuff anyways. Even if they have one slot in the field open, it's a 25k. They have two, it's a 35k. I've actually gotten this thing off when they've had 5 empty rearguard circles, which is nuts. Now, I'll talk about more in the post reboot about whether or not this ability is going to work against a force deck when they have extra rearguard circles. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. We then have one copy of Defeat Flare, which this is just so good. Nuke their backfield. Against blasters, you hit their floatals. Against Lynch Choker, you hit their counterchargers if they haven't locked them already, which usually they'll unlock, and then you'll be able to hit them, and then that actually seriously hurts them. And then finally, one copy of Drachma. This is the first Zeroth Dragon I ever got, and I love this card to death, which is why I decided to build Kagero, because I pulled this guy, and oh my god, I love him. I know he's not as good as some other Zeroth Dragons, but in the right situation, this guy is pretty clutch. So that has been my Preboot Kagero deck profile. Let me know what you guys think down below. Do you like these Preboot videos? Do you not like them? And this has been Roxas, signing off.